It was springtime on the island of Sodor, and all the engines were very happy to see the good weather, and worked very hard to please the Fat Controller. But one evening, the Fat Controller had called all the engines to Tidmouth Sheds for a very important announcement.
All my engines, I would like to introduce you to Mr. Nuner, and he is now the assistant manager of this railway.
All the engines were surprised. "An assistant manager?" gasped James.
Hello, Sodor. How do you do? Sir Topham Hatt has been very busy lately, so I'm here to give him a hand. I will be working here until the end of the year. So you're only temporary? Asked Thomas. Yes, I am, Thomas. I have managed many railways before, but I am really looking forward to being the assistant manager of this beautiful, extraordinary railway, he said. And all the engines were very flattered. Hello, Mr. Nuner. My name is Gordon, and I'm the express engine, and the fastest and the best, he told him. Oh, I know all about you, Gordon. I know everything about all of you engines, so we will all get along just fine, he told them all.
The next morning, Bill and Ben were about to start work, and they looked very sad. "What is the matter?" asked the concerned Mavis.
"Oh, Mavis, we're just bored."
"What do you mean?"
"Well, look around you. What do you see?"
"I see rocks.
And cliffs." "Exactly. Rocks and cliffs. And nothing else. No houses, no grass, no trees. We have worked here for years, and we enjoy it, but we want to see something different for a change. Work somewhere else."
"We'll tell the Fat Controller."
"Sure, the Fat Controller very rarely comes here. Only if we cause trouble. And that's the last thing we want to do, because we'd never get to work somewhere else."
"Well, the Fat Controller's coming here this evening. He's gonna show Mr. Nuner the quarry."
"Really?"
"Yes, Ben."
"So if we work very hard today, and if we kindly ask the Fat Controller if we can work somewhere else for a change, he might do it?"
"There's no harm in asking, Bill."
"Right, Mavis! Right, Ben! time to get to work,
he said. So for the rest of the day, Bill and Ben worked very hard. They loaded the trucks with stones, and then shunted them all together for a boat to take to the docks.
You look very tired. You must have worked very hard today.
Yes, Boko. We are trying to impress the Fat Controller.
That evening, the Fat Controller and Mr. Nuner finally came to the quarry, and Bill, Ben and Mavis were very eager to impress.
Hello, Mr. Nuner. I'm Bill.
And I'm Ben.
And we'd like to welcome you to the quarry. We work very hard here, loading the trucks with stones that be taken to the docks.
Hello, Mr. Nuner. My name is Mavis, and I have worked here for years.
Well, it's a privilege to meet you, Mavis. And it's a privilege to meet you, Bill. And it's a privilege to meet you, Ben. And this looks like a very hard-working quarry.
Oh, it is. We all work very hard here.
You seem very enthusiastic, Bill and Ben. And very welcoming, too. Is everything okay?
Yes.
Why ever do you ask, Sir Topham Hatt?
Sir Topham Hatt? Right. What's wrong?
Well, there's something we wanted to...
Come on, Bill. Out with it.
Well, the thing is, we've worked very hard today. And, well, we love this quarry. We always have, but...
we would like a change.
A change?
Not a permanent change, of course, but would like to see something different.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Nuner? Well, in my past experience, engines can get very tired doing the same jobs all the time, and they say a change is as good as a rest. So I would highly consider giving Bill and Ben something else to do for a change.
The Fat Controller thought for a moment.
Okay. For the next 2 days, Bill and Ben, you will shunt trucks and coaches on Thomas's branch line.
Bill and Ben were delighted.
Thomas's branch line?
We've never been there before. Thank you very much, Sir Topham Hatt.
You must be under your best behavior. I'm giving you a treat, so do not let me down.
Don't you worry, we will not.
The next morning, Thomas was at the station, and then he saw Bill and Ben pull up on the other track. "What are they doing on my branch line?" he whispered to his driver.
I don't know, Thomas.
Hello, Thomas.
Do you remember us?
Hello, Bill and Ben. Of course I remember you. We worked together once on Edward's branch line.
That's right. And we're going to be working together again. Because today and tomorrow, we're going to be shunting coaches and trucks right here.
Well, make sure you're very careful with the coaches, especially Annie and Clarabelle. When you shunt them away tonight, make sure you're as careful and gentle as possible. They are very old and must not be bumped, Thomas said. And then he left. Bill and Ben looked offended.
Does he think that we don't know how to shunt coaches?
What a rude tank engine!
More like a pompous tank engine. We'll show him how to shunt coaches,
Bill said crossly. Late that night, Bill and Ben arrived in the yards to put away the coaches.
Are you ready, Bill?
Sure am, Ben. We'll show Thomas how to shunt coaches.
The next morning Thomas arrived in the yards to pick up Annie and Clarabelle, and he could not see them at all. "Where's Annie and Clarabelle?" he panicked.
They're in the very back of the sheds,
the yardsman told him. "In the very back of the sheds? How are we going to get them out?" "I think we're going to have to give Annie and Clarabelle a miss today, Thomas. It will take too much time to get them out." But I can't run my branch lane without Annie and Clarabelle." "And you cannot run it late either. Come on, let's just take the first 2 coaches." Thomas was furious. "That's that Bill and Ben! They've deliberately blocked Annie and Clarabelle in the back of the sheds!" And he had no choice but to take the first 2 coaches instead.
He was very cross the whole day and could not enjoy his journey at all. When they stopped at the station, they saw Duck.
Oh, where's Annie and Clarabelle? Are they indisposed?
"No, Duck! They're imprisoned in the back of the carriage sheds!" cried Thomas. Bill had to take some empty trucks for the ducks, and he was enjoying himself mostly puffing through the branch line. Coming up to the signal box, he saw the signalman waving a red flag, so his driver applied the brakes. "What is wrong?" asked Bill's driver.
There is a very bad bump on the track.
"If an engine goes over it fast, they could possibly derail. When you get back to the shed, we need you to tell Thomas's driver about the bump, because they'll be coming down this line tomorrow." "No problem, signalman. We will tell him as soon as we get back." So Bill's driver took him slowly and carefully over the bump. When they arrived at the sheds, Thomas, Percy and Toby weren't there. "No one's back yet. Bill, I'm relying on you. Make sure you tell Thomas's driver about the bump tomorrow."
No problem, driver.
Eventually, all the engines returned.
Thomas, there's something important I have to tell your driver.
"Something important? Never mind something important. I have a bone to pick with you two." "What does he want to say to me?" asked Thomas's driver. "No, nothing. Bill and Ben are just silly engines, so don't take them too seriously." And then Thomas's driver left.
I only wanted to tell him about the bump in the track.
"What bump in the track?"
There's a bump in the track on the single line, beside the signal box. And you have to go over it very slowly, Thomas, because if you don't, you will derail. "I know my branch line, thank you very much. And the lines are as smooth as my paint." You don't believe me?
"Of course I don't believe you."
Well, suit yourself. Don't come crying to me tomorrow when you derail.
Anyway, what you did last night was very nasty.
"We put away the coaches very carefully."
"Yes, but you put Annie and Clarabelle to the very back of the sheds, so I couldn't get access to them."
"Why didn't you tell us you wanted them at the front of the sheds?"
Yeah, Thomas, you told us to treat Annie and Clarabelle with care. And that's what we did. We put them to the very back of the sheds, so they'd be safe from harm and sheltered in case it rained.
"But you know rightly I take Annie and Clarabelle everywhere."
"No, we don't. We don't work with you much at all. We're stuck in the quarry all the time."
To be truthful, Thomas, they do have a point. How were they to know that you pull Annie and Clarabelle every day? The sooner you two go back to the quarry, the better.
Everyone sat in silence until they all went to sleep. The next morning, Thomas was puffing down the branch lane with Annie and Clarabelle.
I missed you yesterday. Bill and Ben will be gone this evening, and nothing like this will ever happen to you again.
Soon they came to a bump in the track, and Thomas's driver saw the signal down, so shut off steam and applied the brakes.
Oh no! It can't be!
Cried Thomas, and he hit the bump and derailed. Annie and Clarabelle weren't hurt, and the guard checked the passengers, and luckily they weren't hurt too.
Bill was telling the truth,
said Thomas. He felt very silly, and soon the signalman came down.
I apologize. I told Bill's driver yesterday about this bump. He mustn't have bothered to tell you. No, signalman. Bill told me yesterday, but I ignored him. I thought he was trying to joke. Oh, Thomas, sighed his driver. I know, and I have to lead the passengers. I will contact the Fat Controller at once.
Soon the Fat Controller came to the yards.
Bill, Ben, an emergency. Thomas has hit the bump and derailed, and the passengers are going to be late for the express. Ben, you must go and get the breakdown train, and Bill, you go to the accident immediately and pick up Annie and Clarabelle to take to the junction. They might make the express no more.
The twins set off as quickly as they could. Bill puffed up to Clarabelle. Don't worry, Thomas. I'm going to take the passengers to the junction right away. Percy has just went up the loop track, so we'll be able to take them down there.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
The fireman quickly coupled Clarabelle to Bill, and Bill pulled them out of the way. And then they went down the loop track, which also took them to the junction. And luckily the breakdown train wasn't too far away, so Ben coupled onto it and took it straight to Thomas.
I hope the passengers make the express train on time, he said sadly.
Ben pushed the breakdown train behind him.
Don't worry, Thomas. We will have you back on the rails right away.
Everyone worked very fast, but soon Thomas was lifted back on the rails.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much,
he said to Ben. The signalman came back out of the signal box. I've just been on the phone with the works. There's no room for you at the minute, Thomas, but they'll be able to take you tonight. Ben pushed Thomas back to the shed. A furious Gordon was about to leave with the express when Bill brought Annie and Clarabelle to the platform.
What are you doing with Annie and Clarabelle?
Asked the confused Gordon. Thomas derailed, so I brought the coaches instead, said Bill.
Get in quickly, please,
Gordon called to the passengers. That evening, Ben was getting ready to take Thomas to the works, when the Fat Controller and Mr. Nuner came to see them.
A fine piece of work. Bill, Ben, well done. You proved to me that you're both really useful engines,
said the Fat Controller. Bill and Ben beamed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And you have proved that to me as well, said Thomas. I underestimated you when you came here. I was ignorant, and I am sorry. I thought you were both little silly engines. And Toby was right. I should have made it clear to you that I pulled Annie and Clarabelle.
We forgive you, Thomas.
And Thomas, they said at the works
that you will be there for about 3 days at the most. So someone will have to look after the branch line while you're away. Thomas looked at Bill and Ben.
Please, sir, let one of the twins do it.
Are you sure, Thomas?
Yes, they need rewarded for what they did.
That is a very excellent idea, Thomas,
said Mr. Nuner.
Bill looked at Ben.
Ben, do you want to do it?
No, Bill. You look after Thomas's trains. I will wait for you back at the quarry. You deserve it more than I do.
Okay, Ben, but I will miss you.
I can only be here for a few days, Bill.
Okay, Thomas. I will do it.
That's settled then. Nice to work with you, Bill and Ben, and I hope we work together sometime again.
You know, Sir Topham Hatt, I am really impressed with this railway. The engines have a strong connection with each other and help each other when one's in trouble. I am proud to be the assistant manager here.
You'll not want to leave at Christmas, Mr. Nuner.
I don't think I will, but let me tell you, this is gonna be some year. You mark my words.